What's up, everybody? Brandon here with IGN. I'm joined by Dave Crooks from Dodge Roll. How you doing, Dave?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thanks for coming. What are we doing today?
So I'm going to show you a new level from Enter the Gungeon.
Awesome.
One that we haven't shown it before. It's the third level in the game, and it'll show off a bunch of new enemies, a lot of cool bullet hell elements, and a few weird interactions you can do while you're cruising around the Gungeon.
Weird stuff is great. So for people who don't know, what is Enter the Gungeon?
Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell dungeon crawling roguelike. So essentially what you do is, as you troll through ever increasingly difficult levels of floors, you're acquiring loot and items that make you more powerful, but in this case the loot is all weaponry.
Weaponry you then use to dive deeper into the dungeon.
Absolutely. So the most important thing is, like, it's a bullet hell game, so lots and lots of bullets are coming at you at once.
Yeah.
And what you need to do is master this dodge roll, which has iframes in it like Dark Souls. So when things are shooting at me, like with this beam, I can actually dodge like straight through it.
Gotcha. So you're invincible for a period of the time.
Yes. Oh.
Except for then.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Got these.
So for people that
bubbles.
don't understand, it's very hard to play a bullet hell game and talk at the same time. So we're gonna bear with Dave. So this is the third level of the game, right? And I imagine that you need to have a certain amount of character build up before you get to this point.
Yeah. So the point on every floor of the Gungeon is to go and find the treasure chests, which will drop things that will power you up, and then challenge the boss, which will also drop items and power-ups, which will allow you to hopefully survive the onslaught that's coming.
So the idea here is to basically like level up in an RPG sort of fashion.
Exactly. If you play The Binding of Isaac, it's a very similar idea in terms of the mid-run progression. So yeah, you're like, there are over 200 guns in the game and over 200 items in the game, and the items will often like interact with the guns in ways like make your bullets that you're shooting from any gun freeze people or set them on fire.
Awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah. And wow.
That's rough.
That
I know
is
it's
really hard
tough to talk. It's real hard to talk.
So one thing I can do is I can cheat and just make myself invincible and turn off the UI.
Oh man, we could try that.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be the way to do it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
So as far as these levels go, are these sort of handcrafted levels? Is the player going to hit the same thing every time, or how do you generate each level?
So basically, each room is hand designed. So all the encounters are hand designed.
Awesome. All right, we're typing in the invincibility code right now.
Yeah, here we go.
God mode.
Yep.
The old reliable.
Yeah. So each room is hand designed.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because these enemies, even individually, can become quite demanding to avoid.
Right.
And so if the procedural engine were to like stick a bunch of really hard enemies together in a very confined space, you might find yourself pretty screwed very quickly. So what we wanted to do was make sure that each little encounter had a nice balance of different types of enemies and different types of things to dodge, but then each of those rooms is then procedurally assembled onto a floor according to a set of rules that we think makes good dungeon design. So I like to say that we are teaching our game to create
good dungeons.
Good dungeons, specifically Zelda-style dungeons.
I was just going to say, that seems very Zelda-esque, right?
So yeah, what we do actually is our dungeon generator creates loops, and you'll find that as you are progressing and you go through a huge loop of the dungeon, at the end of the loop, that's probably where most of the rewards are going to be. So it builds in risk reward. If you want to branch off, there'll probably be something good for you there, but it means that you're going to have to go through the most number of rooms before you get it.
The best.
Yeah, but there are also just random drops everywhere. So these are some new enemies. They're these mushroomkin, and they release spores. Yeah.
Jesus, you're killing it.
Thanks. Well, God mode definitely helps.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about it. Let's just take the credit.
Yeah, this is the skeleton. So every time you shoot him, shells just spill out of him, and then once he drops, if I don't shoot him enough while he's
He'll
in skull
sort of
mode,
revive.
he'll suck in all the shells on the ground and come back. So
wow.
you got to put pressure on him. As I said, even individual enemies can be pretty demanding.
Yeah.
To,
So I mean, is that just an enemy, like an individual enemy you'll encounter in the dungeon, or is that sort of a mini?
He's
stage?
definitely one of the stronger enemies.
Gotcha.
So he would be. You probably wouldn't fight multiple of those at once. However, he is just an enemy, not a boss.
Cool. And so each level does have a bot, like your sort of
Yes.
stereotypical.
Each level has a like a pool of bosses that
Gotcha.
it will pull from.
Oh, sweet.
And you can ride minecarts. And actually, the enemies can ride minecarts too.
Oh, can they?
Oh yeah.
If they like happen to walk into it, or would they like prioritize for it?
Certain enemies will just go straight for them. Yeah.
This is nuts.
This is what killed me.
This is nuts. So I love the premise of Gungeon. I read it not too long ago. And do you want to explain a little bit about why you are dungeon diving?
So the story of Gungeon is that at the bottom of the Gungeon is the gun that can kill the past, and and each of the characters.
Oh, you have a store here.
Oh yeah, every floor has a store you can buy stuff at. So enemies will drop money, and you can replenish certain things. But the best items are dropped in random drops.
Actual dungeon.
Yeah. But each character that you can play as, and there are a few of them, have their own reason for entering the dungeon. They each have something about their past that they want to undo. So it's sort of like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
You get to the bottom, and but instead of finding the Holy Grail, you find
the gun that can kill the
the
past.
gun that can kill the past. And so when you beat the game as a character, you actually fight a final boss that is in their past, and it's specific to them. So it's important not to just play the game many times, but to play with the different characters, because there is meaningful end-game content for each one.
Huh. That's really interesting. So like each person has a sort of jaded secret that they're trying to go correct by killing the past.
It sounds a little
80s action movie? For sure.
Well,
yeah
it's definitely. It also sounds a little heavier than it really is. Like, for instance, not this character, but we have a Marine character, and he's essentially the Doom guy.
Yeah.
And he goes back to help his squad mates fight the onslaught of demons that are emitted from the portal when science went wrong. Yeah.
What has science about?
But yeah. So another like mechanic that is pretty new are these things called the blanks, and they're right under my health. They're the blue bullets at the top of the screen. And essentially what happens is when I want to, I can press both sticks down and wipe all the bullets off the screen. So it's like a shmup, like if you've played any other like bullet hell game. But we found that unsurprisingly, when going and creating a bullet hell game, that we needed to give the player as many tools as they could.
The bomb,
yeah.
You need the bomb. And I love that everything is gun-centric. Like, you're literally shooting tiny little bullets with guns.
Yep. Actually, the bullet men enemies were the first piece of art that we saw, and we were like, okay, that's the game. Like that informed every other piece of art that we made.
Really?
So like they came first, and then we drew everything else to fit that style. Because as soon as we saw them, our artist Joe, he animated them. And it was so cute. We were like, that's it.
The adorable little lethal bullets.
They're miners because we're in the mines. Yeah, they're miner bullets, but they have a hint of Mets from Mega Man.
Yeah, I spotted that.
Yeah. So we should be coming up on the
Near
boss
the
here.
end of and you have a map.
I do have a map. I don't actually know where the boss is because it is procedurally generated, but I do know that there's a minimum. It can only be in one of a few of these other rooms here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, I've never been good at bullet hell games, and this looks real hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, it is a roguelike, so you are meant to die and perfect the skill. The most important thing is just to learn the timing on the dodge roll, though.
Gotcha.
So here's a reward room, and this is actually one of the most powerful guns in the game.
Rifle.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that the boss is over here.
There you go. Yeah,
giving my sixth sense.
A pink question mark.
Yeah.
So as far as the guns go, handcrafted and designed for their effects and tools and what they
Right.
do, but they're sort of procedurally dropped. So you could technically get this plasma rifle later on or earlier.
Exactly,
or
yeah.
depending on whichever room you're in. Oh,
Yep, here's the boss.
and here's a hooded.
Our high
Oh.
priest.
It's a gun in a robe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So there's like a little bit of a religion surrounding guns
Yeah.
within the Gungeon, and he is at the forefront of it. Yep.
Nice job. Dodge, and duck and weave. Yeah, I would be dead. I'd be
Woo!
dead. I'd be dead in about half hour.
This
Jeez.
takes a bit of concentration.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Apologize for not being the most talkative at this second. Woo!
Oh my god.
No. So yeah, this at the studio we refer to this attack as the Murgo's wet nurse attack because we sort of took the idea from Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah.
Or no, that's Bloodborne.
That's Bloodborne. Yeah, that's Bloodborne.
Yeah. Almost had a Souls faux pas there.
Yeah, almost had a legion of fans come at
Yeah.
you. Yeah. How dare you? But this is looking a little Bloodborne-y. Lots of dodging and rolling,
Yep.
lots of death from every angle. There's your tagline, Enter the Gungeon.
Yep.
It's like Bloodborne, but pixelated.
Actually, sometimes we say our tagline is "Praise the gun." Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, our
There you go.
yeah, part of it was here we go. He's doomed.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
I couldn't have done it. I know I couldn't have done it. Space Core shotgun. Jesus.
Yep.
All right. Well, before you go, where can people find Enter the Gungeon when it's ready to come out?
It'll be on Steam for PC, Mac, and Linux, and it'll also be on PS4.
And you're aiming for 2016?
Yes, early 2016.
Awesome. Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming by. That was Enter the Gungeon. For more on Enter the Gungeon and hooded guns and Space Core shotguns, you're already in the right place. IGN.